Can you hear me? Yes, thank you. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. We're about to start in a couple minutes, so please grab a seat. Okay, thank you very much. So let me give a brief introduction to the Matcha Initiative before we start tonight's event. So first let me introduce myself. My name is Ma'am Pacharidun Sakunpitatpon. I am the Sustainability and Impact Lead at Palo IT Thailand. I am one of the volunteers for the Matcha Initiative here in Thailand. It's a new organization. It originally started in Singapore. It is a non-profit, volunteer-driven organization composed of sustainability professionals. We meet each month to share knowledge about what our challenges are. You know, sustainability is a very big, vast field. We have different expertise sometimes in our work, because we're all sustainability professionals. We encounter different challenges. By coming together, we share our experience, best practice, and to accelerate the climate action that's needed. So in Thailand, we inspired to start this group. We meet on a monthly basis, and for this month, we're happy to be doing the alternative coffee event tonight. So with me here on this board is my colleague volunteers that started the Matcha Initiative here in Thailand. So you can see we have a little sticker. But if you meet Claire, if you have any questions about our network, please ask us. You know, Pauline, Ralph, Dominica, Delphine, and Nong Kim Nipada. And so next slide, please. And again, I just wanted to emphasize our network is usually events are free. Sometimes we do morning events at Palo's office. Sometimes we do evening events like this. But the focus is always to share knowledge, share best practices, and drive solutions to accelerate, okay? And then again, we invite you to our next event in December 4th. This one is free at Palo's office about carbon accounting and greenhouse gas, okay? That's it for my introduction. So now let me please introduce you to Kun Kian from Coral Life, and he will explain why we picked this venue tonight as our sustainable venue. Thank you, Captain Kim.
Thank you. Warm welcome to everyone to Coral Life's house today. And my name is Tian. We are at Coral Life here, and the idea is about providing space that would be highly energy efficient, as well as be able to deliver high quality indoor air. The air that you are using right now has no PM 2.5, has no volatile organic compound, is low in carbon dioxide under normal conditions, and the right humidity as well as temperature. These are some of the technologies that we together produce with our partners, and it goes into the way we build the building, it goes into the way we make buildings, and this is why we're very happy to welcome you to this space here today. So thank you much, for a very good night tonight. A little bit about what Coral Life is. As a delivery, we ask our clients if we are able to help lower your energy consumption by at least 70%, as well as provide you perfect indoor quality air, while be able to guarantee you a strong ROI on your buildings, whether it's retrofit or new buildings, would you take it? And that's usually the case in delivering energy solutions at this point, that it needs to be a holistic output toward a facility building. Anything we do needs to be measurable, and that measurability has two things. On the left is about energy efficiency. In the world of using electricity, Thailand now averages about 300 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. That's the red bar on the left. Singapore, a little bit better at 225. And some of the best buildings in the world, whether it's in the US at 28, one in Paris at 34, another one in Singapore at 70. And our office in this building, our number is 68. The lower the better. The first three have reached this number because of the way it has been input with energy efficiency as well as renewable energy. We are at 68 solely based on the way we design and use the building. And with that, after we put in some more solar cells, it's a net zero. There are different ways of getting to net zero, but the best way to get to net zero is to be super efficient and then add very little solar cells. That's the formula in which we are working in all of our projects. On the right would be what is measurability in quality air. It's no longer about cool air. It's no longer about hot air, heated air in Europe, or cool air in Thailand. It's more about quality air. And quality air means enough oxygen, the right humidity, no PM 2.5 like this room, and definitely as low volatile organic compound formaldehydes as low as possible. All of that combined, it's not so hard to do if you put in all the different kinds of machines. What's hard is to put them all in one logic. And what's even harder is to be able to do this while spend 70-80% less electricity as a conventional design. So two things that can be delivered and that you are experiencing in this room right now. So this building, 3,000 square meter, instead of 500,000 baht a month of electricity bills, it's only 70,000. Compared to a neighbor, it's 86% less in terms of efficiency, less in terms of spending, more efficient. And it's always true to all kinds of net zero pathway for anybody. Last week we delivered the first energy efficient, last week we delivered the first net zero consumption shopping mall in all of Southeast Asia for Index Living Mall. And they follow the same pathway for building a new building. You design whatever you can to lower your consumption from 100 down to 30 based on the way you build a building, based on the way we implement mechanics. And then we think about digital twinning, then we think about renewable energy. It's always true for any kind of new buildings in the world. It's always true for any kind of retrofit buildings in the world. Only that in reality, for retrofit case, it usually starts with putting in some solar cells. Then you try to soft manage your building. Then you think about changing your windows and doors and sunshades. Then you go on to, then now I need to spend bigger. And the problem is you've spent a lot of time and a lot of resources. What we want to solve is to sell strong ROI as well as solve sustainability paralysis. Is to ask everyone to go this way. In this way, less time, less money used, more effective solutions. And a lot of projects that have come across here in Thailand, the answer is the technology is all there. All these buildings are super energy efficient. The technology is available. What's missing is the right mindset and the right way of tackling your resources, whether it's time or money or physical material science. All of that is there, and I'm sure this very vibrant group tonight are totally on the same page. We're looking for a more sustainable world, more efficient. The way we deal with life cycles of plastics is also part of how to do buildings in a more sustainable way. So thank you so much for a quick introduction.
So thank you so much everyone to be here tonight. Now let's dive into the subject that we are all gathered for, which will be the journey from plastic between ocean-bound plastics to new end products. So I am an engineer, I like figures. So maybe I'm going to share with you some figures, not to depress you, but to show you the importance of the issue we are discussing tonight. Just to let you know, Thailand has a recycling rate of plastic around 18%. Okay? But this hides a huge difference between PET, which will be around 46%, and lower value plastic will be around maximum 14%. Every year, you will have more than 400 kilotons of plastic that will be mismanaged, and most of it will be washed into the river and then washed into the ocean. So obviously this is not a really nice picture, but I want to tell you that there is hope, and we are here tonight because this discussion that we are going to have would not have been possible 5 years ago. Change is on its way. And actually, Thailand is one of the leaders of the negotiation in the area to act and to implement action plan to fight against plastic pollution. So tonight we will discuss this. We will discuss the challenge, we will discuss the solution, and to help me take you through this journey, I will have 4 companies that will explain their businesses, their challenges, and their solutions. They will have 15 minutes each to explain their challenge, and at the end you will have a Q&A session to raise any question that you will have. That will lead us to around 8 o'clock. We will finish around 8:30, and then we will share a nice moment in order to network and to have a longer discussion afterwards. So, to join me on this journey, I would like to call first Dr. Seksan Udomsri, the founder and CEO at the Wongpanit Krabi, to join me on the couch. And I would like to call Tanapakarot, Tiawpradit, CEO at Ocyco. Mr. Sébastien Borne, Group Procurement and Sustainability Director. And last but not least, Queen Pimchaya, Boonyarattaphan. Please join us here. So let's start at the beginning of this journey with the company Wongpanit Krabi and Dr. Seksan. So, first of all, I think you have video to share.
Okay. You want to run my video? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So it's my pleasure to be here. And I think I will start with the video first. Okay.
And one more time.
We're not only preventing the plastic leaking to the ocean, we support more than 20,000 underprivileged families. We try to empower, incentivize the local collector. Now we've been working and collecting ocean-bound plastic for already 3 years. We have more than 10 managers working throughout the Andaman coastline and outside. We have more than 120 employees who are specialized in collecting, sorting, baling, shredding, and making control. My name is Dr. Seksan Udomsri. I'm a founder of Wongpanit Krabi. So we are a well-established recycling company, been working for more than 10 years. And recently we've been working and collecting ocean-bound plastic. So we are working together with community, ground-level people, to bring plastic to us from the island to the mainland.
การเก็บขยะเรื่องเงินเป็นปัจจัยสำคัญเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยถ้าเขามีเงินไปช่วยเพิ่มมูลค่าให้กับผลิตภัณฑ์พลาสติกที่เขาเก็บมาจากทะเลเขาก็มีแรงที่จะนำมาส่งเราเพิ่มมากขึ้นชาวบ้านพอลงทะเบียนกับเราเนี่ยพอมาขายปุ๊บเนี่ยเราจะให้ราคาพิเศษมากกว่าราคาท้องตลาดทีนี้อย่างบางอย่างที่อื่นไม่รับซื้อเราก็จะรับซื้อให้ในโครงการนี้
We use the empower blockchain system for traceability. With the system we establish, we will support traceability and transparency of our collected plastic. As the result, we can get and sell more higher price of our ocean-bound plastic collected.
พวกผมไปทำงานกับวงพาณิชย์แล้วก็ได้ไปลงทะเบียนไว้กับแกไงแล้วก็ทำงานส่งบางครั้งก็อาทิตย์หนึ่งส่งไปครั้งหนึ่งก็6-7 พันได้ทุกครั้ง
ความเปลี่ยนแปลงเนี่ยที่เห็นได้เด่นชัดเลยนะครับอย่างเช่นเมื่อก่อนบางเกาะเนี่ยผมลงไปป่าเนี่ยแต่ละบ้านเนี่ยเขาจะมีการเก็บขยะกองไว้ข้างบ้านแล้วก็ต้องเผาทิ้งทุกวันเลยณปัจจุบันเนี่ยกองขยะข้างบ้านของชาวบ้านเนี่ยเริ่มหายไปแล้วเริ่มไม่มีแล้วชาวบ้านเริ่มมีการจัดเก็บขยะคัดแยกและส่งมาที่วงผลิตกระบี่ในไซเคิลในวงจรของกระบวนการรีไซเคิลนะครับวงพาณิชย์เนี่ยเป็นทั้งผู้เก็บเป็นผู้รวบรวมเป็นผู้คัดแยกพอเราทำเป็นผลิตภัณฑ์ขึ้นมาเรามีการสร้างมูลค่าเราหารายได้เพิ่มจากส่วนที่เราซื้อมาขายไปปกติเพื่อให้ชุมชนชาวบ้านแม้กระทั่งตัวพนักงานของเราเองเนี่ยมีรายได้ที่ดีขึ้น
We have a support from the incubation network with 100-ton program to increase our volume and get more of the collected throughout the rest of the touristic region that we are working. With efficient technology, coaching, training, by having our certified OBP, what we get it from? We are selling all our product, raw material, and byproduct with certified traceability and transparency to the brand. And what we are getting from? We are getting more money in terms of selling this premium price of the plastic and get the money and paying back to the society in many forms.
Yep. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone again. So allow me to speak for my company. We are Wongpanit Krabi, just only the Wongpanit company that working with ocean-bound plastic. As Delphine mentioned, I'm also an engineer, so I've been teaching in Europe for more than 20 years. And then I would like to come back home. My hometown is in Krabi. So what I would like to do something is meaningful for not only myself, just for the ocean, for environment, and for the collector. So we've been working for more than a decade at the moment, trying to collect the plastic from the ocean, the island, and also the pier. So now we have 5 facilities along Andaman coastline of Thai. So we are working with many projects, with many stakeholders, NGO and government or municipality, with more than 20 islands and more than 6 project managers along Andaman coastline of Thai. So now we expand our collaboration or operation through the Altai in order to prevent the leakage of the plastic from the city level to the ocean. So what we are trying to work, as I said, we are not really trying to get only benefit. We are trying to involve with many stakeholders to work with us. But what we actually are facing is about how we make this kind of plastic to be better or to get a better quality or to get a better market. So what we did, we tried to work from the supply chain from the beginning, collecting until upcycling. So we know that if we want to survive in this business, what is the main challenge for us? So we are actually working with many stakeholders, like we are having Empower, we are trying to certify all the plastic that we got. We are trying to empower community. We're having flag and we're trying to get to the products in order to have a traceability and tracking system. But not just only us that can prevent the plastic from leaking to the ocean. So we need many other companies to join us because we are not really being a hero alone. So that what I'm trying to speak to the audience or even with the big petroleum company or brands. So and what we actually trying to work, we work with more than 20,000 underprivileged families, both the sea gypsy people, fishermen, ground level people, or even poor people, or with the triple impact that we focusing on is social impact, environmental impact, and economic impact together with ESG, BCG, and etc. So what we are actually doing, we give a training to all the people about the plastic pollution, preventing from the plastic or burning plastic on site or on the island or dumping on the landfill and then being taken by rain to the ocean. To educate people more and to give more incentive in terms of allow them to be able to bring plastic back to the mainland. So what we actually doing at our side, we try to make certified plastic or try to make days of birth or place of birth of the plastic to be tracking or to be knowing. Like I told people, when you are drinking some water in Bangkok, it's not really the same as you are drinking water on the island. But when you are buying or selling the package, it's the same price throughout the country. It doesn't mean like you are drinking in Paris or London or in Stockholm or in Bangkok. But if we want to make sure traceability of the plastic that, the place that we collect, so that can make more money or can prevent more plastic leakage to the ocean. So that is about what I'm trying to tell in the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think you've told us a little bit about local communities, how important they are in your work. Can you just give us an example on how you make sure to create long-term involvement with local communities?
Yeah, we have, as I showed in the slide, we have so many programs, we have so many companies that we are working together. We have plastic credit that trying to, not really doing some sort of greenwashing or something. We actually giving incentive to the community, trying to pay for the collecting or the collection of the plastic, because not just only PET, that is a very expensive bottle, but some other plastic like single use or let's say like some other PET that cannot easily recycle or not really high quality, we pay for collection and then we support the transportation. By having community with us that we are trying to get the certification like international certification like WERA or OBP certified. So we need to certify or we need to register our plastic that we collect every day. So we actually invite all the people working with community to invite them to register with our system. Not just only ground level people, we also empower like small recycler, not really being left or leave them alone. So we try to engage every party within our supply chain. So to this, we promise to give this better price or to cover some of expenses related to transportation, for example. And we have a very clear structure when we pay for the incentive in order to establish the longer term for them to survive and not to leave them, not really 1 year project like some people do. So we actually promise them to be with them like 7 years.
And maybe to share to the audience, give us a practical example of the issue you have in recycling certain plastics.
So I'm talking now not really a businessman. I'm talking about the ground level people that we collect. So the most difficult or the problem for people who collect, if we can sell all we collect, we will not get any plastic leakage to the ocean. The problem is not just only the recyclable thing. We have so many packages, so many, like bottle that cannot be easily recycled or having some PVC content or have, different quality of PET mixed with a high quality one. And then it end up with, landfilling waste. That is the major problem that we are facing at the moment as ground level people. Not really justified in terms of economic situation to bring everything back. Especially we are in the south, the same as in Europe, like Scandinavia, where I've actually been working. We are really far away from the Central Europe or Central Bangkok. So we take 24 hours to bring the bottle back to Bangkok or the manufacturer. So that is the main obstacle that we are trying to support the community and people that we are working with.
Okay, so you have here brand owner and plastic packaging company. Maybe you can imagine a collaboration to improve the recyclability of some of the plastic packaging. Okay. Maybe one last question before we go on. I think you speak about traceability.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit more how important is traceability?
Yeah, thank you for the last question. We are the first in the world being certified as the OBP plastic credit with Vera, second line to working with us. Before and after COVID, actually, we found that we want to do something new. So we actually wrote proposal to ask for plastic credit and to invite all the collectors to join us. That is start of our our company. We want to see that we are not really paying the credit for plastic being collected from the 5-star hotel, but we pay for the plastic being collected from Surin Island, let's say for example, 4 hours by long-tail boat with 200 kilograms. How it worked to bring it back to the mainland, for example, and also some other island that we are working for 20 island, and that just covering only 20% of the plastic along the Andaman coastline now Thai. Can you imagine that one single metal or tools cannot solve all the problem? And then we need to think about the materials and what we start from, because I've been working in Europe, so I'm looking at the European market. So we're trying to find the European standard where we can sell the material. So we are the beginning of the group that's being certified as OBP. So we are OBP certified in the southern Thailand. So we are trying to make all the plastic more valuable and being recycled more in more recycling rate. So that comes to as I said, as we are as a collector, we need to do something. So traceability is a tool. In the beginning, we want to do the plastic offset or plastic credit, where we actually try to offset all the plastic that you are producing every day. If you want to offsetting your plastic to be zero. So we have one company that we are dealing with this certification like Vera. And then if you want the material or the plastic that being certified with OBP, now we are having some company in Europe that we are selling OBP pellet to. So I believe that being certified with OBP or having certification, it will make the plastic more, attractive or attractive. And then we are not really looking for just only the offline. We start working with the blockchain. Some people actually thinking about the blockchain, but we start working with the blockchain for the plastic since 3 years ago. So we believe that the blockchain will be the game changer. So that's what we invest a lot of money in blockchain and working with our partner from Oslo in Norway, that my colleague last time. So we believe that being certified and having online tracking will solve all the problem for this kind of the plastic being collected from the remote islands. Thank you.
And now I would like to go one step further in the recycle value chain. And Juan, do you want to present your company, Ocyco, please?
Hi everyone, I'm Wan, CEO of Ocyco. I'm excited to be here and I have been working hard on my English to share Ocyco's story with more people. I hope you can feel the passion behind our vision. Thank you for being here and listening. A problem we share. Good night.
So just after that is your video, if you want to show the video.
Okay.
Abraham?
Start with video, please.
สวัสดีค่ะชื่อหวานนะคะธนภการถเตี่ยวประดิษฐ์ค่ะก็เป็นโคฟาวเดอร์ของ Ocyco Project ค่ะ Ocyco นะคะมาจากคำว่า Ocean นะคะ Recycle Cooperate เป็นแบรนด์ที่เราทำในเรื่องของการจัดการขยะอย่างเป็นระบบนะคะนำขยะที่ได้นะคะมาผลิตเป็นสินค้าเพิ่มมูลค่านะคะโดยที่ให้เกิดความยั่งยืนทั้งทางสิ่งแวดล้อมเศรษฐกิจแล้วก็สังคมค่ะ แรงบันดาลใจของโอไซโคก็เกิดจากตอนที่ช่วงโควิดนะคะเราก็ได้ไปเที่ยวทะเลกันเนาะก็เลยเห็นว่าช่วงที่มีนักท่องเที่ยวน้อยนะคะทำไมธรรมชาติสวยจังเลยก็เลยมานั่งคุยกันว่าอยากจะให้ทะเลมันสวยอยากให้มันยั่งยืนโดยที่อยู่บนเศรษฐกิจที่มันยั่งยืนเป็นไปได้จริงนะคะตามความสามารถที่เรามีขยะเหล่านั้นนะคะมาทำเป็นสร้อยข้อมือเป็นคีย์เชนนะคะทำเป็นกระเป๋าแล้วก็จัดการกับขยะที่มีปริมาณมากอันดับต้นๆก็คือขวดพลาสติกนะคะแต่ว่ามันคือขวดแตกนี่พลาสติกนี่แหละว่าอันนี้คือไอ้ที่เรามันคือเสื้อแต่เขาไม่ใช่เสื้อทะเลเลยผมใจค่ะคือที่เราส่งให้วงพาณิชย์คือวงพาณิชย์ส่งเขาไปให้โอไซโก้คือว่าก็ภูมิใจมาที่ว่ารีไซเคิลมาแล้วเป็นสิ่งของที่ใช้ได้เห็นไหมรีไซเคิลมาแล้วคือได้ข้อยศโดยข้อยศไปลาวเอาแบบผ่าขึ้นไปลาวมันเสื้อนี่ก็ถือว่าใช้ได้มันก็ทั้งลงมาใส่มาได้ซื้อลงมาได้ได้จริงเลยอ่ะก็อยากจะฝากถึงทุกคนนะคะว่าอยากจะให้น้องปลาน้องเต่าปะการังนะคะอยู่คู่กับทะเลไทยไปนานๆนะคะก็ช่วยกันเก็บขยะทะเลนะคะแล้วก็ช่วยกันอุดหนุนสินค้าของโอไซโคเพื่อให้เกิดความยั่งยืนค่ะแล้วก็เราจะมีทะเลสวยๆด้วยกันนะคะขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, I will try my best for today. Okay. A problem we all share. Every day, each person makes about 1 kilogram of waste in Thailand. This adds up to millions of tons each year. A lot of this waste ends up near the ocean, where it can hurt our oceans and sea life. We call this waste ocean-bound plastic or OBP. Around 80% of plastic in the ocean come from this waste, which is often in hard-to-reach places like small islands. It's a big problem that can't. This is where Ocyco comes in. We started Ocyco because we love Krabi and want to clean ocean clean and want to clean ocean clean. Two local companies, Wongpanit Krabi and GL Souvenirs, joined together to reduce waste along the Andaman coast. We work with local people, giving them training and fair pay to collect ocean-bound plastic, then turn this waste into useful products that keep our ocean clean. At Ocyco, we are committed in 3 pillars of sustainability. First, environmental sustainability, upcycling and recycling to protect marine life and ecosystem. Second, social sustainability, empowering locals, especially women, with flexible job opportunities. Third, economic sustainability, creating jobs and sustainable products, proving that circular economy works. Our products show transformation. Imagine 10 or 12 plastic bottles being woven together to make a single garment. We also take old fishing nets, buoys, and ropes, then turn them into keychains, bracelets, and bag charms. This is our way of changing ocean pollution into something positive. We even melt bottle caps to make shapes of marine animals, which then become magnets, keychains, plant pots, and coasters. Ocyco also make eco-friendly, reusable packaging that avoids single-use plastic. This packaging is designed to be valuable, so people will keep and reuse it. Transparency and innovation. We use blockchain to track waste from collection to finished products, so everything is transparent. AI technology helps us sort by waste by brand, allowing companies to take back their product responsibly. At every step of our production, we follow international recycling standards. Our goal is to make a sustainability part of everyday life. We are expanding into stores, airports, and model eco-friendly hotel to inspire a sustainable lifestyle. Ocyco is more than just a brand. It's called to action to create a recycling loop that protects the environment and future generations. Together, we can rethink our actions and help revive the ocean. Rethink the action, re-alive the ocean. Thank you for support our journey toward a greener, kinder world. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. One question to start maybe. Do you see any change in the consumer behavior? Do you see any change that consumer and clients are willing to buy new product with added value because it's recycled? Do you see any change?
For customers change their behavior, because of now we have acknowledge them and educate them at our research center, and we also have our store at Krabi International Airport. We also have a video that show them how to got this waste and transform to end product. So this is a way that to tell our customer that we try too hard to do this way to save the world. And if they have our client or buy from us, so they can help the world too, like that. So this is the way that we try to do. Our center always have students, learners, the government, the visitor to Krabi, because of Krabi is a place that's very popular in Thailand, you know. So we try. This center is our center is the hub of Thailand that learning about OBP. Yeah, that's the way that we try. Also, we have the shop at my shop, GR Souvenir Shop in Krabi. This is a big shop. Not only sell this our product, but we try too hard to acknowledge them, let them know it's not just a waste. It's not. It can transform. It have another life. It's not use it one time. You can use it many times. And also today I bring our product to here to inspire for all here. You maybe you don't know before the waste or the plastic can be more than waste, you know, and they can have the many times to use it. You can reuse it many times. And we also have next year we will have hotel that we try to be a pilot hotel in Thailand to show for the recycle and upcycling can be your lifestyle, you know. It's not easy, but we try too hard to do, and try to let the customer or the tourists who come realize that it's very important for our world and for our sea. Yeah, that is that's the reason why I come here. Maybe you know I cannot speak English very well, but I try too hard to come here to inspire people and let you know my inspiration and my passion. Yeah, with my friends. Next probably another. You have another?
Yeah, I have one last question for you if you agree. So just maybe could you tell us a little bit more about what is challenging for you right now, and are you challenged to develop your activity?
As first, I need for that I come here, I need more to have a partner, and let people know more about Ocyco job. So if my challenge is have a more partner and have a supporter from manufacturer or agency or the person who have the understand our work, and we need the government or agency or some company that can support us and can let us expand our job, that can help the local community, especially coastline area. That's very, very interesting, I think. If all you are here interested in Ocyco job, so you can support us. That's the reason why I try to speak. I try to come here. I just landing from Krabi, That's the reason why I come here. Not only for Ocyco, not only for me, because Krabi is my hometown, So how that I can do? I have to pass my English barrier, come here. So it's very important if someone interesting or want to join with us. This is my challenge. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
So now we're gonna go through the next step of this value chain. Actually, Sébastien, you would have a good role here. Some can call you the bad guy, but I think what will be interesting tonight is that you show us how this plastic packaging industry is actually evolving, taking responsibility and take action to move forward.
Yes, so good evening everyone, I'm Sébastien. I work for Dynapack Asia. Previously I worked 3 years for Unilever and 8 years for Procter & Gamble. So all those companies doing many brands that probably most of you have in your kitchen or showers. I'm the procurement director, but I also do lead sustainability for Dynapack Asia. I think more and more companies do this. There's quite some synergies in your supply chain. If you want to have a bigger impact, you need to do it internally, and you need to do it with your suppliers. So who are we? Dynapack Asia is an Indonesia-based company originally. It has expanded in Asia in the past 20 years. We have close to 30 factories. We employ about 6,000 people. We produce more than 100,000 tons of plastic product. So in Thailand we have 2 factories, one in Udomsri and one in Chonburi. Quite big factories. So in Thailand we will produce 20,000 tons of plastic. I think we can show here what we do is easily recognizable. So we don't really do the PET bottles, but for water. We do more HDPE bottles, so high density polyethylene for shower gel, shampoo, and lubricants bottles for automotive. All the Dove, Unilever is a big customer, L'Oreal, Beiersdorf, so all brands that we use really regularly. We do some products for automotives. This weird black thing is a scooter part. But 90% of what we do is packaging. So rigid packaging, we don't do flexible, it's only rigid. And 10% are components going to electronics or automotive. And these are the different technology names. I don't need to go into details that exist in the industry to produce all these plastic products. And also to give some reference, plastic in the world, 400 million tons a year. So Thailand will be 7 million tons per year consumed in Thailand. I think 1 or 2 million, 2 million are exported. I mean, there are big manufacturers of plastic resins in Thailand, SCG, PTT, HMC, driving also a lot of jobs, a lot of employment for the country. What do we do? So since 2018, Dynapack, we embark on driving sustainability for all products. So we do believe all products are good. Plastic has a very low carbon footprint relative to some materials. Now obviously we don't want this plastic product to be to end up on the beach or on the ocean, sadly, whether it's Krabi or Bali or anywhere. So we have a pretty standard structure around the planet, around people, and around governance. I think we are trying to reduce our carbon emission. So actually today we have just been officially validated by SBTi. For those of you who know, it's a global organization recognizing carbon emission reduction. We report on CDP, our carbon emissions, we track our water, we of course try to reduce our waste. We have been in 2018 part of the first converter to sign with Ellen MacArthur, which is an organization driving circularity for plastic, but also for fashion and many other industries. So it's been 6 years. I can give you some details of how we progressed. On the social side, the Valuable 500, not very known, it's an initiative trying to drive disability, hiring people with disabilities. So we have committed to improve, how we can welcome people with disability and how we can increase the amount of persons with disability into our workforce. UN United Global Compact is around human rights, labor rights, ethics, anti-corruption in business. So what do we do? I think specifically to this journey of recycled plastic, back in 2018 we had about 60% of our products being recyclable. I think Dr. Seksan, you spoke about it. There's a lot of packaging and you cannot recycle it because you have a mix of materials. Why did we mix material? Well, very simply, to actually protect consumer. The original functions of mixing PVC or PP and PP is to make sure food, shampoo, whatever is lasting longer and is not wasted. Because when you produce 1 kilo of shampoo, there's a lot of materials, energy, efforts going behind this liter of shampoo. So packaging is to protect the product. And so all the packaging which has been made was developed over the decades to protect. And I think now we've realized we overprotected products probably. And indeed you don't need the triple layer of packaging on everything. But originally we need to remember plastic packaging was here to protect. So now we've moved to around 60% in 2018. Now we have 85% of our products which are recycled. Still means 15%. So definitely a few thousand tons which cannot be recycled. Why? Because you have problematic materials that we cannot replace so easily. You have properties, you have additives that are being used for very specific reasons, and we struggle. So we develop, we innovate, but it takes time. But we move from 60 to 85%. Good first step. Use of recycled resin. So in 2018 we were using 1% of recycled resin. Now we are using 10%. We've committed to use 15% next year, and we have a target of 40% for 2030. Obviously, this goes hand in hand with the brands, whether it's Mondelēz or Dove or whoever, and it goes together with us, consumer. Today, the reality is, if I want to buy, and I think there are few recyclers in the room, but if I want to buy a recycled PET, it costs me 40%, 50% more than virgin PET. If I want to buy HDPE, it can cost me 50 to 70% more than HDPE. So this will be a significant impact into our cost, into the brands, and obviously to the consumer, maybe not 50%, but 5%. So either 5 cents, 10 cents that may not be able to afford in the region. And third key action, developing recycling. So in Indonesia, we have developed a recycling facility for PET. It's producing 25,000 tons. We've also developed a network of collection, so not ocean-bound, but in Indonesia we have developed a network with 25,000 waste pickers, 600 collection centers, and 30 partners. So it's supporting a lot of people. We try to implement good working conditions, proper revenue for all the families linked to the waste pickers. We will collect this year 34,000 tons of plastic. It's not enough, and we are working to do more. But I think that's a good start. And this is, for Indonesia, because we have a lot of contact in Indonesia, but we are definitely looking present in Thailand, we're present in Malaysia, in Vietnam, so we have projects also to do more on making sure our products don't end into the ocean in every country.
Thank you. Maybe one question to go back. You talked about the fact that packaging with recycled content could be more expensive, that you have targets to reach that are quite ambitious and maybe going to be complicated to reach them. What are the brands doing brand owner position regarding recycled content in packaging? Are they willing to buy some? Are they taking risks with you to go further?
I think the key global brands, and which can be finger pointed, Coca-Cola, Danone, Mondelēz, Unilever, they have all commitments to use, I would say, from 25 to 50% or more recycled content in the next year to 5 years. They all have already a lot of recycled content use. Now, all those key brands that have, the big names, it's only 25-30% of the plastic industry. So I think today, while indeed we look at the big ones, there's thousands and thousands. So in Thailand, to give a perspective, there are 3,000 converters of plastic products. Not all for packaging, but many, many converters. So there's a huge supply chain to convert to the use of recycled resins. The brands have the commitment, but the brands, I think today, this year, Unilever stepped back. It's costing Unilever more than 100 million euros to use recycled resin. And they are losing market share because, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Indonesia, you have local brands. They don't care about using recycled plastic. So if you lose your market share, you will step back on your commitments for using recycled plastic or reducing carbon emissions because you need to compete, you need to keep your market share. So today, I think big brands are committed. However, if there's not a virtuous cycle for the consumer and everyone to support it, or from the government to force everyone in the industry to use 20%, 30% recycled plastic, then yes, it's difficult to progress further.
Okay, so we might need more regulation, more mandatory.
Yes. So I think there are the global plastic treaty negotiation happening in Busan in a few weeks in Korea. So unlikely it gets very ambitious, but I think a lot of persons are trying. I think my sister-in-law was sharing an article to me a few days ago saying, the plastic industry lying on recycling for decades. Because indeed, and I think in Singapore, a few days ago, someone asked me, but the recycled content was 8-9% 5 years ago, and it's still 8-9% globally. So you guys are just, blah, blah, blah. Well, to create a new bottle, it takes 2 years. To make a new cap can make 3 to 5 years. It's a massive industry, $600 billion a year, 400 million tons to change, and do. It takes, it's faster to create a city in China than and make a new bottle design with a cap, honestly. So yes, it's moving. I think this year, Ellen MacArthur report is on next Monday, the 18th. I think in the evening, Thai time, we should be able to access it. I cross finger that the global number is quite increased versus previous years. Of course, COVID, slowed down quite some projects, but now it's in full force in the entire industry to develop recycling.
Okay, thank you. I have more questions, but we are running out of time, so thank you very much. So I think I would like So we spoke about brand owner and engagement in reaching recycling targets. Can you explain us what Mondelēz is doing?
So actually I don't have the fancy video to show you guys because I don't want everyone here is like mouth-watering craving for our products. We actually we're talking about Mondelēz. Some of you may not sure who we are, but I think this little gentleman know very well who is Mondelēz because he's our big fan. We are the brand owners of Oreo, Troublon, Cadbury's, College Dentines, any all the yummy love products that you can name on is actually part of our portfolios. And at Mondelēz, we actually here is our visions. We aim to become the global snack leaders in 2030, by 2030, so that's 5 more years for us to go. And here, this is our strategy pillars, and sustainability is one of that. And here, so talking about how we achieving that, there's two approaches that we devise that live where we matter most. Especially Sébastien says that nowadays, the brand owners, we actually pay attention and we are willing to invest more for the sustainable sourcings. We for the Cocoa for Life and we actually this is a sustainable 100% sourcing. And this is the first time that I'm going to share with external here that in Thailand we are looking for opportunities to employ the sugar sourcings. Because for Thailand we are the number 2 world's big exporter for the sugar. And with here, you know how the local farmers doing the sugar canes that they burn in them. So right now we are working with the suppliers to source for the non-burn or fresh cut sugar, which is they call it the organic premium one. And it's gonna cost more, and this is something that for brand owners like us willing to do that because we believe that as Mondelēz, we are the global company. A move that we make actually can make a big impact for everyone, and this is something that we're doing. And for the human rights, we actually have some kind of the program called Trash Lucky, where we trash like that we partner with Trash Lucky, where we encourage the students to do the sorting for the recycled waste at their school. And I know that it's gonna be hard, so you said that we need incentives to motivate people to participate, and as a young generation that we believe that they are they're gonna become a major change in the future, and we want to have them have some kind of the recycle habits. So we encourage the students to do the competitions where they compete with each other in another classroom, and we provide them the incentive to do that. So right now this is gonna be the 3rd year that we're doing it in Thailand, and involve around 22 schools. And for the part where we want to drive change, the world's needed most, which is actually the CO2, we actually aim to become the net zero by 2050, and also the packaging is the area that we are working hard on it. Like Sébastien said again, right now, our packaging actually we aim to become 100% recyclable content by 2025, and so far we actually achieved 98.8%. So here, this is how we work for the packaging. We reducing packaging. I think because as we are the snack producer, so it's very hard for us to balance about the functions of the packaging as well as the needs for consumer and also like the needs of the modern trade where we work with. So that's the challenging area, but we are working hard on that to reduce the virgin plastic, as well as we also desire packaging to be recyclable and also improving the system. So I'll keep it short.
Thank you. So you told us a little bit more about the target you have set up for recyclable packaging. Do you act also into the collection? Because being recyclable is something, but if there is no waste management and no collection, then it's not going to be recycled at the end. So do you get any involvement in the collection?
Yeah, like I said, that we have the trash right programs that we work with the school, where we encourage the students to recycle and sort things the way and things like that. So far, we have been working for 3 years on. I'm quite not sure. I need to check for the numbers, but we actually achieved quite a good number for the carbon emissions as well as the plastic recycle and the waste.
And so that would be for the recycle of the 3R. What about reduce and substitute that you have shown on the slides? What are your actions?
For the reduce, like I said, that is quite challenging that we need to balance the need for like making our world a better place as well as the need from the modern trades where they require us to have a lot of box, wrap another box and the plastics to wrap another plastics because they want to like make it easier for them in terms of the logistic operations, and we have to do that because we want to sell the product. So we are kind of, as Mondelēz, we are actively engaged with Pimchaya and also the Thailand networks, like to work hard on this. We kind of, like if you said like Nestle or the other brand, in the news monitoring, we would put them as the competitor news. But at the Pro Thailand, we work together hand in hand as the colleagues, and we kind of sharing the idea and knowledge and how we're going to achieve this together as the steering committee for that.
So I think it will be almost time to ask the audience question, but maybe one last question on my side. I forgot my question.
It's okay. We can have like open
Maybe it will go later with the other question. So thank you very much for the four of you. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much for your presentation, all of you. It was very interesting. I have a question for you, Pimchaya. You were saying 98% of the plastic is recyclable.
98.8% of our packaging is recyclable content.
Okay. Do you know how the other big players on the market are doing? Are they doing similar figures?
I'm quite not sure about that, but because like the consumer trend, they actually pay more attention for the environmental packaging, and they're willing to pay more for that. And I believe that the others like brands, the other player in the industry also working hard to achieve that as well.
And in the packaging, what's not? Like if you could address like all those consumers tonight, in a pack of Oreo, there's biscuits and there's the packing around it, but then you have the cardboard box, then you might have some plastic sometimes around it. What's the worst plastic of all those plastics?
So I have a question. Sorry. So I mean, it's recyclable. I actually, I'm talking about the people digging on the bin and getting all the bottle back and trying to sell. So many people when I share the event or the panel, they just ask me. It seems like I have all the packets that recyclable. That's true. I'm not saying or I'm not arguing, but it's not that easy. You know, when it comes to one of the single content of the plastic, let's say for example, when we go for melting and getting the pellet, that means your product can be recycled, but I need high technology. I'm an engineer too, so you know, I need high technology and nobody recycle. So it ends up at the landfilling. So if we want to see what can be recycled, you cannot imagine. You know, Salex, or you can, if you woke up at 5, running or jogging, you can see on the bins, you got so many people digging into all the sellable or recyclable. So if you want to see who can make all the product and cannot be recycled, go to the landfilling and you can see the product. So that is the real. So that's what I'm trying to share. Can be recycled, it's true. But how? That was like multi-layer. So it can be recycled. I'm not arguing, you know, in engineering skill, it's true. But who can recycle with high technology? So I need to take my packet to Germany, Sweden, to recycle? Oh, I'm sorry to say that. So it's about my question. So the question is like, if we don't have regulation and law, nobody wants to get all the, you know, your packet back. So that is reflection about people on the ground, like us. So if we try to, you know, share some experience, it's like a pricing competition. But sometimes when we have COVID, nobody actually argue or ask for the business or whatsoever. Everyone just wants to survive. So if we have one single world, so I think that will be, or like the conductor saying about, if we have EPR, what is the hope? So that the question I'm waiting for, but I didn't get that. The EPR is actually implemented so many countries. And in Thailand, for example, we don't even have recycle law. So that is a really, even Laos or Malaysia, they also have. So that is actually the problem. If we have recycle law, why we have PVC label? Why we have that? That will be, you know, that is actually really criminal.
Can we actually have the view of the author on the EPR and what they are expecting from the for those who don't know, it's extended producer responsibility. It stands for.
Yeah. So, EPR.
So I think where it can help, it's so instead of if a brand puts and buy, you know, from us a bottle, $1,000 per ton because we use virgin. If the brand or whoever puts a bottle or a product in the environment or on the shelf, if the government will say, oh, for every tonnage you put, you need to pay $200, $400 per ton to us or to an association, then obviously, unless you use 50% recycled content, and then suddenly that 50% bottle, recycled content bottle will come at parity with actually a virgin, and this will encourage the entire industry. So this is the concept. It's fairly basic. There's a lot of complexity to implement it, and of course guarantee compliance to it in country like Thailand or Indonesia, Vietnam, etc.
So what would be your position regarding EPR in the global plastic treaty?
For us, we are absolutely for it. Yeah. I believe, personally, I believe the plastic industry should aim like the aluminium or glass industry, recycle 70% of plastic. I do think technology today is probably changing, but in 10, 20 years, there's no reason why we can't do this. As I said, plastic has a very low footprint, no land impact, not much water impact. So with crude oil, we're better than plastic than do other things. And we should keep as much as possible to do this plastic for the centers coming. But yeah, it should not end up in the ocean.
Maybe on EPR?
With the extended producer responsibilities, the results like brand owner responsibilities, and I have been working with the chief officers and the others, like regulations and things like to understand that how it's gonna affect and how we're gonna apply it to our business. And actually, like we are working on that, and then I see that while we are having amazing with the all peers, but I don't see the modern trade as part of this cycle. And also, from what I heard is that there's gonna implement the laws where they're gonna ask all the household to start like sorting and recycle before they trash. So I think this is something because we are, no matter how hard we're working, it's like from the beginning of the chain and the end of the chain, but the consumers and all the people, there's like, to be honest, I think for Thai people, we have quite low awareness towards this issue. And this is something that we need to, the government actually said that if we encourage them to do it and they're still not doing it, it has to be then compulsory, where we have to start it from the household. And I think this is good, is a promising opportunity for the teams who are working hard for the ocean.
So, I see a lot of hope in the Krabi example at the local level, but I don't see much hope here about fixing the problem if we're only recycling 18% in Thailand. So I guess the question is, what are other countries in ASEAN doing? What is the rate compared to 18%? It's quite low. What is the rate in Europe, and how do we fix this? I'd like to leave here with some optimism, at least knowing we can't just rely on campaigns, we have to have some regulation, recycling law. How can we fix this problem?
Yeah, I can probably talk theoretically. Yeah, the problem is actually not really the brand owner, that's what I'm trying to say, because we are actually within the society, everyone needs to pay attention and concern. For example, for those, like for example myself, if they make something from non-recyclable or PVC or whatsoever that cannot be recycled, I'm not taking or buying that product because it's made something bad to environment. So if we are talking about recycling rate from the developing country like us, what we really would like to have first, I think, first, we need to have a law for the recycling law. So all the material or packaging that produced to the market need to be recycled. That's the first, I think that is the basic need that we have to have within our country. If I can just, vote my vote, so it's like we need to have that. Secondly, EPR is the very important, tools to use for this kind of impact. But like Sébastien mentioned, when the big brands trying to reduce, what I know is that it will impact to your cost or investment for the brand. But what everyone need to pay attention because we are living in the same environment or the same world. But when it comes to the local brand, they don't really care. Let's say, for example, when I'm talking about the bottle. When you are drinking the bottle, I went back to Europe into Stockholm last week, and the bottle with the cap cannot be separate. If in Thailand, for example, why Ocyco become or why we are here, when you actually having the bottle and the cap separate, the recycling station cannot recycle, so they don't buy. It will end up at the landfill because the cap made from PP or PE, or in Thailand somehow they say PE but have mixed between PE and PP. So it's like a really real problem how it works with the plastic. So it's like EPR is also important. Awareness is also very important to educate people. Sometimes people don't even know that this kind of product cause a lot of environmental impact. Even you don't know that when I'm drinking green tea, so you have PVC level. So for example, when I'm trying to clean my teeth, my mouth, so people need more education or need more educated. So that's what I'm trying to, because even we are developing country, but everyone, if they know that it will impact to their life, so they will pay attention more. So we need the three elements. First, we need recycling law. Secondly, we need EPR, and then awareness for the people.
Maybe I can also address the question to the other, and maybe especially we talk about the
Lecuyer, which is one tool to talk about regulation. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more about your opinion on recycled content regulatory regulation?
All good for it. But to be positive, 18% is not too bad. Globally, it's 9% packaging. Now, obviously, there are 190 countries, but I think in Europe it will be 25-ish. The goal of the EU, and there's a new directive, I think after this year, is to reach 50% in 2030. The US is also working on that directive for it. In Southeast Asia, it's quite various, but it's, ranging from 15 to 25%. Why? Because, well, there's a lot of cheap informal labor which can actually go and pick, the waste pickers. So Southeast Asia, the massive, I forgot, it's more than 10 million people involved between India to China, involved into collecting plastic. So going to our trash and take it in some sad way from time to time. But yeah, and for Thailand, it will mean to create 2.5 million tons of recycling capacity. You probably need $100 billion. And I think at global level, it was studied that from a capacity of machine, if you have the money, and you ask all the machine manufacturers to produce recycled line, it's not enough to reach our ambition. So, as I said, it's a massive industry. It's moving, but yeah, it's a big diesel engine. And yeah, give it another 2-3 years, I think the numbers will have improved dramatically. And the question, recycled content? Yes, I think going to 50%, 70%, 100%. We do produce a lot of our PET bottles now are 100%. HDP bottles, simple design can also be 100%. Now, the brands, I think, are facing issue on quality because we as consumer, and we have also people here from the factory, when we use recycled resins, you have black spot. So the Dove bottle, if you want the Dove bottle to be as white as before, then I'm sorry, you're not supporting the recycling and circular economy. You need to accept products will have defects, visual defects. This is how it has to be. Otherwise, we are getting into a lot of qualification issue and quality issue, and the brands push back the rollout of the recycled content.
I think your example is very good because for PET, as in the market, you can do deposit return schemes, but for other designs with low wear value, I think regulation is very important.
Yes, PET, you can see, is becoming more grayish the more it gets recycled. So the bottles will not have the same transparent, very nice color.
So,
Hi. Sorry, I'm more used to CO2 emissions, so I try to make some equivalent, but I always say the best CO2 is the one you don't emit. So we are talking a lot about recycling or getting back the plastic from the ocean, but I just wanted to ask to Pimchaya about what is the efforts made to try to reduce the packaging to be savings in terms of money, but as well as reducing the source that could be then sent to the ocean. So that would be the first question. The second question would be for Sébastien. Actually, Dr. Seksan was mentioning those caps on the bottles. I also come back from France and just discovered this one, and it's very smart. And I don't know why it took us so long to adopt this trend. So do you see this trend coming to Asia soon?
Okay, on the caps, you want me to answer? I think it's to avoid caps ending into the environment. So it was developed, it's mandatory now in France, but I think also EU. We don't see it coming into Asia. At least caps we are developing. I'm not sure they have this solid edge to do. And indeed, like sometimes we still see, even here, there's a lot of hygiene questions also around packaging. Again, protect product. So you still buy here from time to time. You have these small format plastic bottles. You have a cap, and then you have a wrapper, right, around the bottle. So if you're on the beach and there's a bit of wind, try to remove your wrapper. You really need to try to do your best efforts to not get the wrapper fly away. And yeah, I think it's, why do some brands do this? Is to prevent persons, to collect the empty bottle, fill it with dirty water, which you may not know, and sell it to you at high cost. A lot of lubricants bottles have caps with some, counterfeit mechanism. So you break the bottle, you break the caps, so no one can take a used container and then sell you some dirty oil and make it like it's good shell oil for your engine. So there are usually reasons behind all those complicated packaging, not recyclable, or why we overuse some packaging. But I still agree, we need to reduce. There's, I think, in the US, an average American use 220 kilo of packaging per year. I think in Singapore it's 70. In Thailand, I'm sure it's barely 10 or more per year. We just can't have 8 billion humans using 220 kilo of packaging. That is clear. So, but what is the right amount? Plastic is good for some part. Aluminium is good. Glass is good. So we need to find, the best solutions to each use.
So maybe I can add just a little technical comment. For France and Europe, the caps is separate during the recycling process, and because the technology in Europe made it possible to recycle both the bottle and the cap, that now the law has been put in place to make them keeping together. I don't know if technology in Thailand or in
I can explain. We can do the same. Because we are using the gravity, or we are using flooding, the cap will be flooding, and the bottom will be sink. And we do the same, but if the cap and the bottle cannot come together, the cap cannot be sold. That's what I tell you, because it's like people feel like it's very cheap, and it's not really, worth to collect them and to get to recycle, or the recycling station will not really buy them. So that was the question that I'm trying to explain. So if the cap and the bottle come together, so it will be accepted because we have the separation process during flaking or shedding. So we have. And about the PET, I have some input about the Delphine mentioned. Even PET itself, we cannot mention that in high quality plastic because the PET drinking water, that just share about 30%, but we have some other PET like energy drink and some other drink that you have some color, you have some like some kind of really strong plastic that also PET that cannot be recycled. And in the local brand, you also have PET with printed screen. That is a real criminal, for us, because the ink can harm or cause a lot of problem for the food grade or for the PET with the high quality one. So if it's mixed with the high level of the low value, so it will be dumped or rejected for the whole container. So that is the problem for the high and low level economic situation in Thailand.
Would you mind recap the questions for me again, because I got carried away by this gentleman answer.
I was wondering for the Mondelēz, how do you influence trying to reduce the amount of packaging? Because you were saying that it was actually increasing. I think Sébastien kind of covered also this part, saying that there are some regulation or you need to protect the product. But yeah, sometimes you see a big bag with some individual things in plastic, and do you try to change a little bit this?
Yes, we try. That's why actually I just had the JBP, which is like the Joint Business Plan sessions with the Moderator, where actually includes the sustainability agenda as part of our business plan. We are kind of working closely with the Moderators to support them in terms of the logistics, but as well as the packaging to be like more friendly to the environment. We are working on that.
So I think there were two questions.
Yeah.
I just got the mic. Hi, my name is Belle. Even though I was born here in Bangkok, I grew up in Germany, and coming from Berlin, I'm just here for a work trip. I'm just asking myself, so we are talking about we need regulations, right? Governmental regulations. And as you told me, or told us, Sébastien, that that you guys started being more, taking more recycled plastics into your products, and it's really, really hard to be competitive. And what the EU or what in the EU, what companies do, they just create lobbyism. You need a lobby for change to happen. For example, Lego, they created a higher market barrier, and they did that because they told the other ones, okay, let's make the plastic more sustainable, otherwise you can't compete with us. So my question is, big companies, like real big companies that can have like a huge impact, why don't you guys have that incentive to change the government, like to make the government change? So just create lobbyism to make the market very higher, so you guys are the ones that are really truly sustainable. That's one question, because I don't get the Thai market. And also, with all the plastic in the rivers and the ocean, and keeping rivers and oceans clean, there's a very simple technique what Germans did, and that's creating a deposit system. People will help make the planet clean if they have to pay, or if they pay for that money. Let's do it by 1 baht, and why don't people do it here? It's super simple.
I can answer the second question. Because normally nobody actually throw the plastic to the ocean. That is true. The reason why the plastic is, from the ocean is about the cost of the plastic or the recyclable the plastic. And it's got no cost. People just dump on the landfill. And when we have a heavy rain, within 50 kilometers from the pier, it takes all the plastic to the ocean. That happened in Indonesia, Philippines, Thai, and Vietnam. So the problem is from the plastic and the market. It's not about people actually throwing the plastic during your vacation, So that is the problem from the ocean plastic, because of non-recyclable or no value plastic.
I'm sorry, deposit system is like you get your money back if you just put it for recycling, so you don't throw it away. So you give people incentive not to throw it away. Why don't you do that here?
Because why they have to collect? Because they are not really the government,
No, but they lose money. I think I'm not sure if you know the system.
Okay, so my part for the first one. Actually, why don't us, the big company, lobbying the government? Actually, we are the US company. We actually have certain rules about how we connect or interact with the government. Even like if I visit some of government officers and they buy me a cup of coffee, I actually have to report to the company. This is not how we work here in Thailand. This is our compliance. And also talking about that, like I said, for Thai consumers, they actually have the low awareness toward this. Like for me, I have 14 cats, and when I go to buy cat food, I have to say no 3 times when I say no to plastic bag. The shop still keep offering me. And before I joined here, I work at Top Supermarket and also Lazada Business Gems. The consumer is really picky about packaging. They complain a lot when they see that we have smaller package. They think that when we reduce the size of the package, but the inside the content is still the same, but think that we are saving the money, they're cutting down the size of the package. This is the Thai consumer, and the challenging, like I said from the beginning, that we have to balance the consumer expectations as well towards this issue.
There's a lot of Southeast Asia is 10 different countries, 600 million people, different languages. It's not as coordinated as the European Union yet, but yeah, it's being talked about.
Can I? So I want to ask Dr. Seksan and Tanapakarot,
Tanapakarot. Like, how often do you visit the same place to collect the plastic? And what do you see the change? Like, is it getting lower and lower, like every time you go to the same place? Or what's the consumer behavior changing?
Yeah, I mean, now what we are actually trying to do first, as I said, education is very important. So we have a training session for all the community to realize about the plastic pollution, especially ocean plastic pollution. So what we actually need to support, we need to support in terms of taking or buying the plastic that they are collecting. Or we are trying to take all the plastic, even single-use plastic, but we need to find the market in order to, make them being able to collect the plastic. So if I answer your question now, I think what we have seen from the situation in the area that we work, the plastic that we collect more than 10,000 tons per year, that is about recyclable. So east of the MIF that we work, so I mean it's about 10 or 20,000 now from east of, in total. And also single-use plastic, we are trying to find some of the solution. With technology for pyrolysis, RDF, or upcycling products that we are trying to show. So we can say that 100%, but at least we collect everything. With the plastic credit, we collect even flip-flop, the flip-flop from Indonesia. We have more than 100 tons per year. The flip-flop made with a really different plastic, so it cannot be recycled. When we say, okay, we take the plastic back, so we get a lot. So we need some support in terms of transportation, in terms of final destination for that plastic. So we try different technology or solution to support. But now it's slightly, we see more impact. And the plastic that you can see from if there is the market, nobody actually dump or dumping the plastic to the landfill. So very less now.
Thank you. I think we are almost done. I think we are all hungry and thirsty. So there is just two last questions. We will take the two questions and you will answer all together. Yeah.
Alright, so this question is for Dr. Seksan. I believe in life is learning, so I would like to ask whether, so here I haven't heard about a question about the mistake. What's the mistake is that, what is the failure or lesson learned that the private sector, for example, the brand owner or even the packaging producer should learn about the campaign to segregate the trash or even the collection. Thank you.
You mean my failure or the factory failure?
I'm sorry. So I mean the lesson learned for big company in terms of correction or even the awareness campaign for their consumers, because as you heard that many big companies did a lot of campaign for their consumers in terms of waste segregation, but it's not last long or it's not that sustainable.
Yeah, I actually, my failure actually, I fail every day because of buying the wrong package or some kind of plastic that cannot be being recycled. But the campaign that you mentioned, actually, I actually being taught since I was a child, But until today, but I heard everything about this campaign. But I don't know how it's, how we make them effective, because like Mondelēz mentioned, awareness is one of really, important. So what we are trying to now, what we try, we talk and we train the student at school not to have a waistband, but try not to use the plastic. Try to use something else to replace the plastic. So what I can explain or answer to your question, because the failure probably we got it every day. So I think we need to teach and give more education to the younger one, like the children, to understand probably, at least the plastic pollution. So now we actually have more than 20 or 30 schools that, reduce a ton of plastic per month or something like that. So we are trying to train them to avoid using the plastic by replacing some kind of something else or material. So that's what we are trying in our group of company.
I think there is one last question.
Yes, one last question. So when you say that some plastic cannot be recycled, I think you are referring mostly to mechanical recycling. But what about chemical recycling? Can't we recycle almost anything with chemical recycling? I think you started to talk about pyrolysis, but so what's your take on chemical recycling and also on plastic waste to eggs, plastic waste to energy? Is this a near-term realistic solution for developing countries?
Yeah. So actually I teach about district heating and cooling. It's very popular in Stockholm, in Sweden. We use waste incineration coupled with combined heat and power. We have electricity and hot water for district heating. But waste to energy in Thailand it seems to be not really, at the time, we really encourage waste to energy with the proper burning system and get electrical energy out of the waste. But now it's not really effective as we want. That's the first. So that we got no market. All the electrical power plant, cement power plant, when we try to make RDF, they said, oh, you are not really qualified. Even I said I got my PhD from West. So we are not qualified because now I have a lot of fuel. I don't want to buy from you because normally I take oil plant from people dumping waste to my factory. Why I need to pay it to you? So that is the market. That is the major revenue mechanism for for mechanical recycling like waste to energy. And we need to have a real waste to energy that can be recycled because of getting electrical out of the waste. So talking in terms of theoretical point of view. So you need to have incentive from the government, because sometimes you contribute also to renewable energy because most of 50% of the waste or RDF contribute or derives from renewable energy. From pyrolysis, it's not that easy because with technology that we have, we are trying a lot with our team and the colleague from Germany too. I cannot tell you where or what, but when we get the plant of the oil that we from the pyrolysis, first it's not really we cannot sell to compete with the fossil fuel. That is the first. The second, the technology to make it more quality diesel or benzene, it takes more or we need to invest more money. Thirdly, the feedstock is really important. We need to get the proper feedstock. We cannot just dump the off into the pyrolysis combustion chamber. We need to have a proper fuel like single-use plastic like a bag or something like that available at the landfill. So pyrolysis now is not really economically justified in terms of these three factors. For example, the feedstock, you need to have a really high quality and constant feedstock. Secondly, you need to have technology that you can make it cheaper comparing to the fossil fuel. Thirdly, how you make the quality of the fuel and you can compete with you need to be allowed from the government to I don't know, so many laws about that. So it's like still complicated at the moment for Thailand, for example.
I can just illustrate with number. You want to make mechanically recyclable facility, 25,000 tons, you need $30 million. You want to do the same for chemical, you need $80 million. And you need much more risk to operate that factory. And you need the feedstock, you need it almost as clean as mechanically recycling. And I think 6 years ago in 2018, the industry believed it was a magic solution. Also to multi-layers, flexibles, but there were a lot of failures in few countries on investments, so that's why now I think it's back. I think chemical recycling is still an interesting solution. But yeah, it costs, so if virgin resin is $1,000, mechanically recycled is $1,500, chemical is $3,000, so it's 3 times more expensive. Yeah, will it improve? We will see.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we are running out of time, but you will be able to continue with the question after with our little networking events and have a drinks. I would like to thank you, the four of you, very much for your participation, for your insights. We will take a picture with the matcha team after. I would like also to thank Coral Life for having us tonight, and I would like to inform you, for those who are interested in sustainable building, that the Matcha Initiative and Coral Life will organize an event to discuss these subjects. Thank you very much for your participation, and please have a drink with us.
Entirely missed your